What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love After Lockup, Season 4, Episode 37, Red Flag After Red Flag. So let's start off with Gabby and Chris. So Gabby wants to introduce Chris to her mother because I don't think the mom and Chris had ever met in person. So she brings him over to her mother's house. The mother's in the kitchen. She's washing dishes or something. So, and her back is turned towards them as they walk into the kitchen. So, Gabby's like, oh, mom, I have a surprise guest for you. The mom barely even turns around. Okay. She's just not interested at all. She barely looks over her shoulder. She sees Chris standing there and the mom was like, okay, so what do y'all want? And so I think Gabby says something like, well, I want you to meet Chris, blah, blah, blah. The mom was like, not interested at all. Is there anything else y'all want? And I don't know if Gabby was trying to make conversation or if Chris was trying to make conversation, because that whole entire kitchen scene, I was just sort of distracted by Gabby's braids. So I don't even know exactly what was said up until the point where the mom was like, okay, y'all can leave now. And Chris was like, well, what about, dinner or something. And the mom said you already had a piece of mango, because I think Gabby cut up a piece of, she was cutting up a mango and she gave him a piece of a mango. And the mom was like, you already had a piece of mango. Anything else you want? And they were not leaving. They were refusing to leave. And I'm not exactly sure what they were expecting from this woman, but they were not leaving. So the mom was like, well, if you want to stay, then fine, I got something for you. So she starts interrogating Chris and she's like, so where were you in jail for? He says, I got caught with a weapon, or I got caught with a gun. He was in a car that had a gun in it, but it wasn't his gun. So the mother was like, okay, so you're telling me you did 6 years because you were in a car that had a gun in it? And so then he has to explain to her that he had federal charges pending as well for robbing drug dealers. My God, they always try to minimize exactly what they went to prison for. So after that, the mom, after she heard that, she was like, you know what? This is stupid. Gabby, you are a fool. What did she say? You're two clowns short of a circus for wanting to even be involved with this. So then she asked Chris, well, what about the women that you were texting or calling? So he gave her some cockamamie story. He lied. He said something stupid. And then when he saw that she saw right through the BS, he was like, okay, I apologize. Yeah, I was talking to women, or whatever he was saying. So then the mom says, okay, so that's when she says that Gabby is just dumb for being in this relationship. The mother was not holding back at all, because a girl like Gabby, you have to be extremely blunt, because she's so stubborn. She's so extremely stubborn. So you have to be very blunt with her. So the mom told her like exactly how it is. She says, you're dumb for wanting to be in this relationship with this man, for wanting to get married to him. And in the mom's little one-on-one camera interview, she says that Gabby, what she needs to do, she needs to go get a divorce and slap him upside the face with the final divorce papers. So when I was watching this, I was, like I said, I was very distracted by Gabby's braids. Now, there's this talk on the internet about Gabby blackfishing. Blackfishing being, a person who is not black trying to look black. And I have seen some very bizarre pictures of Gabby on the internet where I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it was some type of a Photoshop, or she actually used some type of makeup or what, but the girl completely made herself black. Okay, I don't know what was going on there. There's pictures of her looking like that, then I see her here with these braids, and I was just, y'all, I was so distracted. I was like, what is Gabby trying to do? What is really going on here? So after that, the next time that we see Gabby, she's by herself, and she is explaining to us that her and Chris are broken up. I think she said 3 months prior, because she said 3 months ago she caught him texting women again. They were at the apartment. He was on his phone. She wanted to see his phone, and she saw that he was texting women again. So she said that she asked him, who are you texting? Blah, blah, blah. The conversation went left, and she told him, she said she was very polite about it. And I can definitely see her. I don't know if it was polite, but I can definitely see her saying in a really calm tone, because she's so angry, telling him to leave. To basically, leave the apartment, take your stuff with you, get the hell out of my apartment. He tells her, this is my apartment. So then she says after that, they just started fighting. He put his hands on her, and they were fighting for 2 hours, y'all. For 2 hours they were fighting. She said that he assaulted her. He broke her bones. He broke her teeth. She had to call the police. She says that when she called the police, she didn't even speak into it because she was probably really scared of what he would do if he knew that she was calling the police. So she just dialed 911 and didn't say anything and had the phone in her pocket so that they could hear what was going on and they could track her location. To me, that sounds like someone who is used to being a victim. Like, this is not the first time that somebody has put their hands on her, and this is a technique that she learned. So Chris was eventually arrested and charged with aggravated assault, and I guess at the time that she was telling us this, he was sitting in jail. So she said that she had seen red flags, but she ignored them. Gabby, girl, you should have listened to your mother. I don't understand why children, young children, teenagers, adult children don't want to listen to their parents, because if your parents really love you and care for you, they only want the best for you. They're not going to want to lead you down the right path or lead you towards doom and gloom. They only want the best for you. I don't know. I don't understand, because there's nothing about Chris that is remotely attractive in any way, in any way, because I don't understand what she saw in him. So he won the lawsuit. He gave her, I don't know how much it was, $50K or however much it was that he gave her. He gave her some money. She ran through it. Now what? Then what? What do you have left? What else do you see in this man that you feel like was worth all of this? I never understood, because Gabby is a smart girl. She's not dumb. She is a really smart girl, but she just makes some really dumb decisions. She's attractive. She's got it together as far as mentally. But so why was she, even her mom was confused, because her mom had told us in a previous episode that Gabby would date for real rich men, like ballers and actors and I don't know what, rappers or whatever, people who had real money. Those are the kind of people that she dated. So what was she doing with, y'all, at least if the man was attractive or good looking, you can kind of say that she kind of got mesmerized or, okay, mesmerized. You can kind of be like, okay, I can kind of see, this guy was really, really good looking. She fell for his looks. The attraction was strong. She couldn't help herself. But he's not even easy on the eyes. And he had absolutely nothing. And he had no ambition, no motivation, nothing. And the whole entire time I'm watching the show, I'm like, Gabby, what do you see in him? So this man put her in the hospital. And for what? He probably never even loved her, was cheating on her the whole entire time, using her because the apartment was hers, and she was probably, anyways. I'm just glad that she came out of this relationship alive. It wasn't worth the pain that she went through, but thank God she left with her life. And hopefully this was a lesson learned for her, and that she stays away from, anyways. Let's just start off with, let's not date people who came out of prison. Now, I understand the people who came out of prison, they are, they're humans, they want a second chance. They made mistakes and they learn from their mistakes, and, they paid their debt to society and all of that. I get all of that. But more often than not, in these types of shows, we see that these type of relationships don't always work out. Moving on to Monique and Derek. So Monique calls her sister and tells her sister what went down with the high-speed chase. And the sister felt sorry for her because Monique is in Ohio by herself, without friends, without family, and she's going through hell. So Derek says in his confessional that the person that was chasing them was a CO that he had a relationship with when he was in prison. Now, this CO was not the CO of the facility that he was at. He had met her through a friend who was dating a CO, and so that's how they met. They met through a friend of his, but she wasn't a correctional officer at the prison that he was at. So they struck up this, I guess you want to call it a relationship. I have no idea. So that's exactly who was chasing them that particular night. Derek says that him and the CO, they used to talk a lot when he was locked up. So when he had a chance to be by himself, I guess when he was waiting for his Uber, he was outside. He decides to give her a call, and I was expecting some, very Y'all, I was just expecting a regular female voice. This woman, I guess she had just woken up or something. I mean, she was sounding rough. She was sounding rough. Okay. I was just like, anyways. But because it didn't say her name, they kept on bleeping out her name. I don't think we're going to get a chance to see her. But that would have been a sight to see, probably. So Derek calls her, and they're having a conversation. He asked her, was that you chasing me? And it was. It was her that was chasing him. And he even asked her, how did you know where I was? And she said, well, she just knew. I'm pretty sure that she had people in his family that gave her the location. Derek says that this woman is very toxic. She likes to turn up, and she's from the ghetto. And he's intrigued by her. So she said that Derek says that she's dangerous, and he wants to know what's up with her. He says because of the fact that she's hurt, her feelings are hurt, that, she couldn't see Derek when he came out of prison. Because of the fact that she's hurt, now that's going to make her dangerous. And he wants to see what's up with her. We see Monique. She already switched out her car and switched out her hotel. So she's trying to call Derek, right? She always has to be on him. So she's calling him, and he's not answering his phone. Derek is at the jewelry shop, and he wants to buy an engagement ring for Monique. So when he finally does answer the phone, she's asking him, so where are you at? Why didn't you answer the phone? Girl, y'all, I could not. There's just no way. No way. No, there's no way that I'm going to babysit another adult. There's no way that I'm going to be calling up another adult and asking them, where are you at? Because if you love me and you care about me, you'll tell me. I'll know. And I don't have to track you, and I don't have to call you 50 times before you pick up the damn phone. I'm not living that life. Anyways, so he finally answers the phone, and she's like, where are you at? Why didn't you answer the phone? I've been calling you. And he won't tell her where he's at because he's at the jewelry store, and he wants to surprise her with the ring at some point. So he doesn't want to let her know exactly where he's at or what he's doing because he's trying to buy this ring for her. So he gives her some very evasive answers. So then she complains about how she had to switch hotels, and then she had to carry all these bags up the stairs by herself. And Derek was like, well, that was good. That's good because that's a good workout for you. Derek's two brothers, they show up at the jewelry store, and they're really happy to see him. So he reunites with his two brothers, and we get a little bit of background story about them. One of the brothers, the one that was like exactly his height, they were living together before Derek went to prison, and so they were really, really close. And so when he went to prison, when he came out of prison, this brother was not at the prison waiting for him because he himself was in prison, or he was in jail at the time. So anyway, so he reunites with his brother, and the brothers are like, hey, what are you doing here? He says, well, I'm going to buy a ring for Monique. And they're like, no, you can't be doing that. No, you can't be marrying somebody that you don't even know. And he says, what do you mean I don't know her? We've been together for 2 years. She's been holding it down for me for 2 whole years. What are you talking about? I don't know her. But they met for the first time when he was released. So he says, no, he's going to do this. He wants to marry her. They try to convince him maybe he should buy her a chain or something, but not no damn ring. He's like, no, I'm going to buy her a ring. That's how it's going to be. So the brothers want to hang out with him. He says, well, I don't know about all that because Monique keeps a tracker on my phone and she knows exactly where I'm at all the time. So then the brothers show him how to turn off the tracker on the phone so that, they can hang out with him in peace and not worry about Monique. So they go ahead and they turn off the tracker. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Monique is going to react to that. Moving on to Ashley and Travis. So, y'all, Ashley's life is falling completely apart before our eyes. Her life is falling completely apart. We see her in the house with Travis, and she's acting very erratic. She's going inside the house, outside the house, inside the house. She's trying to kick the camera crew out of the house. And we're like, what the hell is going on with Ashley? So coming to find out, Ashley's landlord wants to evict her, and he's giving her 2 weeks to move out. And the reason why he wants to evict her is because he does not want found a felon on the property. She says that her landlord always stops by, and he had seen a picture of Chris in his prison garb on her damn refrigerator. Ashley, did you read your damn lease? Did you read your lease? Because she says that it's not about the fact that she has a felon in the home. It's because the landlord just wants their house back. Girl, did you read your lease? Because it's very common for landlords to not want felons on their property. That's not an unusual stipulation to a rental agreement. So now she's in panic mode because she's got to leave this house, doesn't know where to put all this furniture, has no money anywhere because she's completely depleted her savings. Ashley was fronting, y'all. She made it seem, because in the very beginning when we first met Ashley, she was, going around showing off her jewelry. I am a fine antique purveyor. You were hawking old jewelry and now you're broke. So she's in complete panic mode, and now that puts Travis in panic mode, and he's trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Well, the next time that we see Monique and Travis, they are in Virginia. They left Florida because Travis's family is in Virginia, and I guess that's the only place where they have to go. I guess they're going to be staying with his family for a while. So they're in the hotel, and they're about to, go to his mother's house. He's on the phone talking to his mother, and Ashley, she's out on the pool. So he goes outside and he's like, you know what, Ashley, we need to hurry up and get out of here because we got to go see my mom, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, I want to play in the pool first. I want to hang out in the pool. And he's like, we don't have time for that. We're homeless. We don't have time to hang out at the pool. We got to go. And so then they start arguing about their situation. Now, let's talk about Ashley. Ashley says that the reason why she's in this financial predicament is because she was living beyond her means. She had a house that she really couldn't afford, a car that she really couldn't afford, because her jewelry business has tanked. She said that she spent $70,000 in merchandise, and she probably made that money back in 3 years, in 3 years time. So she's absolutely broke. She's po. Ashley is po. Ain't got no money. So her car, she can't sell it because she owes $20,000 on it. Has no savings. She cannot even liquidate her merchandise. The old jewelry that she sells, she can't even liquidate it because she would actually lose money if she did that. She sold all her stuff. She said she had $40,000 worth of possession. She sold it all and got $3,500. The mother asked Travis on the phone, well, did you put were y'all able to put the furniture in storage? And he was like, no, because we can't even pay for storage. So when they're at the pool, he's like, we got to go. And she's like, well, I want to hang out at the pool. And then they start arguing, and she tells him, well, you need to go get a job. And he's like, I didn't come out of prison expecting to be stressed out like this. I thought that when I came out of prison, I was going to have a chance to kind of chill for a while before I start worrying about getting a job. And she goes, well, you see what's been going on. And she tries to blame it on the pandemic and, all this other stuff. Doesn't want to take any responsibility or accountability, that she's just poor money management, and maybe she's not the best business person out there. So she's like, well, you need to step up and be a man and get a job. And then he says, no, you need to get a job. And so that's when they part ways. He leaves her in the damn pool. Well, girl, you like to show off your body. Maybe you need to open up an OnlyFans account or something, because she was out there in her little bikini, her little itty bitty bikini. Why don't you start an OnlyFans or something? Ashley is broke, y'all. She po. Moving on to Skyler and Nathan. So, no, let's not move on to Skyler and Nathan. Moving on to Justine and Michael. Okay, Justine and Michael. So Michael is at home at Justine's house with Justine's kids, and the kids are driving him crazy because he's trying to conduct business. He's got this sneaker line. He designed these sneakers, and when he was in jail, he had a lot of time to design a whole bunch of shoes. Okay, so he has a whole bunch of designs that he wants to get out there. So he's talking to his business partner or sneaker designer guy on the phone while he's trying to conduct business. The kids are, running amok. They're running around, fighting, yelling, screaming, and he's getting really frustrated. So he calls Justine. He's like, Justine, when are you coming home and take care of these damn kids? Because I've had it up to here. So she's at the pharmacy, and she's talking about, well, this is what it's like, living with kids. So she's at the pharmacy. She ain't feeling well. We know what this is leading up to. The girl might be pregnant. Let's just, cut to the chase. The girl might be pregnant. And so when she comes home, he tells her, I want you to quit your job. And she's like, I don't want to talk about this right now. He goes, come on, I want you to quit your job because the 8 hours that you're giving to somebody else, you can give to me for my business. We can, build this business together, because he wants her to, help him with his businesses. So she's like, I don't want to talk about that right now. So then they go upstairs and she shows him the pregnancy test that she bought. And he's like, what? He's all shocked and surprised. Okay, you've been hitting up the club since you got out. Y'all probably haven't, been able to separate from each other. And you're shocked that she's got a pregnancy test. Okay, so she's got this pregnancy test, and thank God he's excited about it. He's not upset. And she tells us that she doesn't want to quit her job because she doesn't want to lose her insurance because she might be pregnant. The kids that they already have are driving them crazy. He's got his own 4 kids that he sees occasionally. He's got her 3 kids that he cannot manage. And here they are wanting to have more children. Let's move on to Eris and Cameron. Eris and Cameron, I don't want to spend too much time on these people. So she brings her daughter. Her daughter is going to be coming up to Ohio because she's getting married, and she wants, obviously, her daughter to be with her. So the little girl rode on the plane by herself, and she gets there, and she meets Cameron, and she says that she thought Cameron was going to be a little bit taller, but he's just as tall as she is. He's a little itty bitty man, and Eris was happy to see her daughter and Cameron together. It was fine. It's whatever. What is this child gonna do? Her mom is happy. This is what her mother wants, and she wants her mom to be happy, and she loves her mom, so she's gonna go with the flow. Whether she likes it or she doesn't like it, the child has no choice in this. Now, Cameron is nervous about being a father figure to this child, because I don't know if Cameron has kids of his own. I'm assuming he doesn't. He's extremely nervous about playing that role, and you can tell that when he's talking to her, there's that awkwardness between them. She seems to be a little bit more comfortable than him, but you can tell that he's definitely nervous. He's definitely awkward. Eris tries to play it off I don't understand why y'all are so nervous. Y'all talk on the phone all the time. So we get a little bit more information about Lena's father. When Eris and Lena's father were together, it wasn't a real relationship, I think she said. They were just, I guess just hooking up. She ends up pregnant. Lena's father wanted her to end the pregnancy. She didn't want to end the pregnancy, so she had the baby. And he was in and out of Lena's life up until the age of 2. When Lena turned 2, he was deported. So the only time that she really has any, interactions with her father is over the phone. So Lena tells us that she's not going to call Cameron dad. She's going to call him Cameron or Cam. And that's fine. And Cameron told her that, look, I'm not trying to replace your father. You have a father. I'm just going to be like your bonus dad or your stepdad. Now it's time for the wedding. So Cameron's father had passed away, and so he's not going to, obviously not going to be there. So they have a cutout figure, a cutout board of the father, a cardboard figure of the father. I was like, what is going on here? Why don't they just have a picture? A really beautiful 8x10 or a really large picture frame. I didn't understand why they had a whole entire cardboard cutout of the man, but that's what they had. Eris's parents, they're not there either. They couldn't make it or they didn't want to come. I have no idea. She tells us how her father, because her own father was in prison, he used to be an inmate. He had always told her that he did not want her to marry an inmate. So I don't think she's broken it to her father yet that her and Cameron have gotten married. But anyways, they get married. Okay. They get married and, you know, they looked good. They exchanged their vows. They included Lena in the ceremony. What else am I going to say about this? You know, good luck to all of them. Now, we will be seeing them in Life After Lockup, and that's when, you know, life is going to get very real for them. Lord have mercy. Now let's get into Skyler and Nathan. Skyler and Nathan. Skyler's at her mother's house. She tells her mother about the incident at the restaurant, how Nathan completely lost his cool at the restaurant. And so the mother's very worried that Nathan's erratic behavior will trigger Skyler to possibly use again. So both her mother and her brother tell her to slow the hell down. You don't need all of this. You and him need to kind of take a break, take a breather from each other because it's just too much. So Skyler says that she loves Nathan, but she knows that being with him kind of distracts her from her trying to get her own life on track and for her achieving her own goals. So Skyler and Nathan meet up at the park. They have a conversation. They talk about how long, he tells her, I've been waiting so long while you were in prison, waiting for you to come out so that I can have a decent dinner with you, take you out on a proper date. And when we do finally get to go out, you're on the phone with somebody else. So that's why I was really triggered. And so he says, but I understand that my response to that was not right. I should not have acted the way I acted, but you need to stop making me act like that. And if you do see me act like that, instead of just looking at me, I want you to calm me down. I want you to do what you need to do to bring me back down. Excuse me, sir? So Skyler tells him, well, you should never even get to the point where I have to calm you down. So you need to learn some skills to prevent yourself from even getting to that point where you're acting erratic. How about that? So he says that he's still learning to mature. And then he looks at her and he tells her, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for life. I'm here with you for life. I'm not going anywhere. And she looks at him and she says, well, me neither. But in her confessional, she says that she's not sure if she's ready to commit her life to Nathan. That's where we are with Skyler and Nathan. And I think that I have covered all of our couples. We talked about Ashley and Travis. We talked about Monique and Derek, Skyler and Nathan. Poor Gabby. Talked about poor Gabby and Chris, Justine and Michael, Eris and Cameron. Yeah, we covered them all. Thank you so much for joining me. I really, truly do appreciate it. This was like a little nothing episode, except for the Gabby part. That said a lot right there. I'm just glad that Gabby's out of it, and I just pray that Gabby learns to make better decisions and puts herself first. I really do appreciate you joining me in this review. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.